Hey, it's Jim again. I want to have one final word in this video. And first and foremost, I want to say thank you to the Marlow Heights Church family for the sabbatical that made this trip possible. Sabbatical is a time of rest and renewal, of re-energizing and refilling with the Holy Spirit. And it's not just for the pastor, it is also for the congregation. And if you're listening to me today and you are part of a church family other than Marlow Heights, please make sure that your church provides sabbatical time. It makes a world of difference for everyone. And if you want more information on what all that is and what that means, please message me and I can either send you written information or I'd be glad to talk to you in person. Now, a disclaimer about the videos. I believe there were 6 of them. I may not have had all of my facts 100% correct. It may be that I misspoke, like when I said 365 degrees. It may have been that I misunderstood what we were told, or it may have been that I received faulty information. When it comes to reconstructing a culture that is more than 2,000 years old, it requires some educated guesses based on the best information at that time. And new discoveries that are made can shed new light, and that has certainly been true of Pompeii in recent years. And the acclaimed prison in Philippi, where Paul and Silas were, was almost certainly a shrine and not a jail. It doesn't even fit the kind of description that we have in the book of Acts for what that jail would have looked like. However, it does commemorate a very important part of Paul's visit to Philippi, and so it is very much worth taking in and seeing. I do apologize for the sound fades. I realize I had been putting my fingers over the mic so that because the way I was holding my phone, I didn't want to drop it. And it's possible that maybe that was an unexpected blessing for you not to be able to hear everything. But it also meant that you could not hear the group singing the doxology in the theater in Philippi. It was beautiful. Oh, you should have heard it. I had no video from the city of Ephesus, and that is because it was so crowded, so noisy, that even if I could have made a video, it would not have been worth sharing. It was a great place. I would love to visit it again, but it was not conducive to anything that I could share other than some snapshots. I have been asked, and I'm sure that I will be asked in the future, what was your favorite part? Well, there's no one favorite part that I had, but there are 3 things that stand out to me. One, the United States is celebrating 250 years here in 2026. I spent 2 weeks in a part of the world of biblical Asia Minor and Greece and Italy with history that is 10 times as long, at least. And what we saw was 2,500 years in some cases. To see how well preserved, and even though there were lots of ruins and rubble, was still really neat. The long history there, like history anywhere, is rich and sordid, tragic and hopeful. But to walk on the actual streets and in the actual cities where Paul and other first century Christians walked was really, really cool. Secondly, the engineering feats just blew me away at every site. From the intricate carvings that were made in stone to the water and sewage systems that were built in these cities to how they cut and moved and built some 30 and 40 foot high structures with boulders was truly amazing. I also realized that I used the words amazing and fascinating a lot in those videos. And that is simply because my vocabulary is too small to articulate what I saw and what I felt in those places. And third, I would have to say that the opulence on one hand and the poverty on the other really stood out. It was especially stark in Ephesus and in Pompeii. The wealthy had really large, ornate homes with fountains and baths and elaborate furnishings and beautiful frescoes painted on the walls. In Pompeii, they have uncovered a house that was 32,000 square feet in size. That is huge. And then the poor had very small houses with plain walls, and they would have had to use public baths. So I say that to say that I realize that human nature and human civilization haven't really changed over the centuries and even over the millennia. And that's a sad reality. I do hope that these videos have been interesting for you to watch, and it does save all of us from a 3-hour slideshow presentation like the missionaries used to do. So, as they used to say in the southern kingdom of Israel, shalom, y'all.